Burnout is horrible, and your goals take a hit from how unmotivated you end up becoming. Burnout is commonly a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, but it's also a sign that something needs to change, as whatever you're currently doing isn't sustainable. In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify the causes of your burnout, but most importantly, how to fix them. If you're new here, my name's Tom, and I'm an engineering student on self-improvement, while sharing everything I learned along the way with you guys. So let's get into it. Now, one of the most common reasons that causes burnout is overexertion. This is when you take on too much too fast, to a point where we end up doing every task poorly because our attention is stretched so much. This is completely natural. Everyone, especially if you're watching this video, wants to better themselves in some way. Doing every new improvement routine, every top 10 hacks to fix your life, all at the same time, becomes too much to do effectively. Now, the obvious way to fix this is actually focus on one main project at a time. This should be your current purpose and what you're obsessed with over at the moment. This also means you can have supplementary goals and tasks in addition to this to maintain other aspects of your life. Say if your main objective was your work and you really want to put in as much effort as you can to progress yourself towards your goal, you're also going to have maintenance goals such as going to the gym, exercising, eating and cooking clean, and spending time with friends and family to make sure that you stay sane, basically. From my experience, having one main aim is vital if you want to make tangible progress in this area. I found this recently with both my work and boxing training with my fight night. Both of these were main tasks that I really wanted to focus on to do my best in both areas. But what I found is that when you have one aim that you can obsess over, you change the content you consume and how you structure your day so that your goal is the forefront of your attention throughout the day and you can make the most progress in it. When you're doing this for two or more aims, you're not actually optimized for either and end up just doing weak progress in both of them, and end up being in this weird middle ground where you're not actually able to make progress in either goals and just end up becoming stressed and eventually burnt out. But even if you just have one main goal, it's easy to fall into the burnout trap. So what else can we do to fix this? One simple way to do this is simply saying no more. We're commonly too polite to decline work or plans that others have asked us to do and forget that it's actually okay to say no sometimes. What can be really helpful here is to actually write out your main goal that you want to work towards and then your 3 or 4 maintenance goals that you want to keep for a balanced life. This means when new things come up, you can assess these to see if they're aligned with your current goals that you have, or if it's just going to be another task that's just going to overload your brain. Don't let long time frames warp your reality of this either. If someone comes to you with a plan in 3, 4+ weeks, don't blindly say yes, thinking that, oh, I have a lot of work on at the moment, but I'm going to be way ahead by the time that comes around, so I should be fine. Don't hope for perfect conditions because they never actually come. But you also shouldn't say no to everything. Now, this can be confusing because what do you actually take on and agree to when you don't know what your plans could be in weeks' time? A good way to deal with these long-term things is think to yourself, if this planned work or task happened to be tomorrow, would I still be excited for it? If the answer is yes, and this activity would genuinely excite you, then go for it, because it's something that you're going to be looking forward to in the future. But if you're unsure, you might be setting yourself up for more stress down the line. Now, the next technique to battle burnout is taking rests, but resting properly. Taking breaks is vital for your mental and physical health, and commonly we end up overworking ourselves due to deadlines or poor organization. The problem is, when in reality, taking a 10-20 minute break would actually be way more productive than 2 hours of distraction or being unproductive from the stress that you're putting yourself under. Your brain can't focus for 100% of the day, so mix it up every few hours. If you're doing a deep work session, make sure to have a break, maybe go for a walk, get something to eat, and then you can do some shallow batched activities before then going into another deep work session. Having these rests is going to mean that you can actually sustain the work that you're doing each day, which is going to be way more productive than doing 14 hours of work in one day and just burning yourself out for the rest of the week. Now again, these rests you need to be doing properly. Rest isn't scrolling for 20 minutes, usually because 20 minutes of scrolling becomes 2 hours, but also because you're not actually letting yourself relax fully to recharge yourself. Luckily enough, I've already made a video on resting efficiently, so make sure to check that out. Now, one of the final techniques you can use to prevent yourself burning out is actually forgiving yourself. A lot of the times where we aren't where we want to be and we haven't seen the progress that we wanted to, we end up beating ourselves up, which just makes the situation worse. You have to remember that you can always correct course, no matter how unproductive you may have been. and accepting that the time or energy that you've wasted in the past, there's nothing you can do about that. So there's no point focusing on something that you can no longer change. The rest of the day, week, and month isn't a write-off, and what you can control is the present moment and how you want to proceed from here. So when you feel yourself plummeting, being unproductive, and starting to burn out, just pause, take a deep breath, and accept that the past has already happened. You know what could happen in the future. In this present moment, you can get back on track and start working towards your goals again. Burnout through overexhaustion is easily avoidable when you have just one main purpose, along with goals for a balanced and healthy life, as well as remembering to take breaks throughout your day, saying no to extra things that are just going to stress you out if they don't truly excite you, and forgiving yourself when you feel at your lowest, because you can always return to what matters. You're doing great, remember that. If you found this information useful and want to find out more ways to avoid burnout forever, then check out the first link in the description for my private community and coaching. And as always, love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.